Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I was gonna actually do some Genshin Impact fan art, but I think I'll save that for another draw with me at a later date, maybe next week, just because like I would like to gush about Genshin Impact a little bit more, but I think today I'm actually gonna draw something 17 related because I'm in a very 17 mood because 17 keeps feeding us more and more content recently. But I would like to do fan art of either Eula or Yanfei eventually, so I can talk more about Genshin Impact stuff because I'm super excited for 1.5. But for now, kind of want to draw Jeonghan from the Hitori Janai teaser. Kind of the beginning scene when he's kind of like bundled up in this really puffy, like almost creamy pink. Okay, so let's just get started with sketching something. I'm just gonna be basically listening to Hitori Janai on repeat as we're drawing this because I absolutely love the song. I highly recommend, even if you're not like a fan of 17 or K-pop music, this is a Japanese single, so maybe it might be something you're interested in. And I don't know, it's just very uplifting, very cheerful. The lyrics are really pretty, so highly recommend. It's like a very like healing kind of song, comforting kind of song. So I'll look at the two references I have, because I did one, like I have two references because one is more of a evening lighting situation and the other one is kind of more like morning. I do like the morning one a lot more just because it's a lot brighter. So I just watched the live stream for Genshin Impact and I'm super excited. But like I said, I'm gonna save that for another day. Or at least another drawing session, not this one. So I might do 2 videos today so I can sketch somebody. I want to give him like sleepier looking eyes. I just kind of want to draw something like kind of soft and cute. So why not Jeonghan kind of like cuddled up into a blanket. Just gonna liquefy his eyes because I made them look a little bit too uneven. It's better to fix it now than later. Really simple, and then he's technically looking at his phone. It's a huge phone. Maybe I want his eyes to be closed. The thing is, like, I really like drawing eyes and coloring them. But maybe there's another thing I wanted to do. I wanted to draw my OCs because I feel like I don't draw Sato and Koji enough on this channel, so a lot of people don't even know they exist. Drawing them again in my sketchbook, so maybe I'll do another. I guess I'll do a lot of draw with me videos. So I hate drawing people holding phones, so I'm gonna have to try my best to do this. If you want any more cute songs or kind of like almost, I don't know, any song recommendations, highly recommend listening to the 8 side by side as well. I'll link both of the things into the description so you guys can check out the teaser for Hitori Janai or watch the music video for the 8 solo. This is not how you hold a phone, but that's okay. I kind of want to use like warm colors, but like it has a nice contrast of like blues and stuff. So we'll try, or at least I'll try my best to portray the atmosphere that I want. His other hand, if you're holding your phone, a little bit cuter. Okay, so his red hair, or was it Sungwan or Dino who said he had like gochujang hair? Jeonghan has really pretty red hair though. I know a lot of people like really miss his long hair and he's been growing it out a lot. I just hope his hair is like still comfortable with like for him. Just because I remember in the past I think he missed having short hair because long hair is just a lot to manage. I think I'm like excited to color, I think, for the most part for today. Shade these in. So the one part I'm missing is kind of the volume on the sides because I forgot how long his hair actually was. Because it's kind of goes down to here. Like it's almost the lengthwise anyways, like either similar to the mullet almost, or kind of how I draw Masaki's back of his hair, I guess. Oh wait, I forgot to talk about one thing. For the people who came to the live stream, I really do thank you guys for coming and stopping by and kind of keeping me company, especially for like almost 4 hours. I streamed for pretty much 4 hours. But none of you guys told me that there was no music playing at all. So it's just me talking. Like, how do you guys bear with that? Because I went to make sure to see if things were working like, after the fact, right? So I could figure out what I need to make sure to fix for next time. Because hopefully that was kind of like the last test stream. And all you guys, when I was saying like, oh, is the music and my voice okay? None of you guys said anything. Unless I didn't say anything about the music. But also, I kept talking about certain songs or certain artists as they came up. Like, I was listening to piano versions of each song. So like sometimes I said randomly Pentagon or M Flying or 17. And I guess no one really cared. I was randomly saying these. But I was saying it because like their song came up during the music. At least for me. I guess not for you guys. So I didn't know because on my Streamlabs OBS thing, it was showing that it was playing, but apparently it wasn't. So you guys literally heard like silence and or me occasionally talking. But still, I appreciate you guys coming to the live stream. Hopefully live streams will be a little bit more frequent, especially this month up until like the halfway point through May, I think. This neck's a little thin. Also, Wonu's part in Hitori Janai, I really love it. Like, as soon as I heard it in the teaser, I felt really happy. Because I love when he has more, like, vocal lines rather than full-on rapping for every comeback. Because he has a really pretty voice, in my opinion. And then the fact that Jeonghan starts the song. And I love Juni's lines, too. And Vernon's. Like, I could literally gush about 17, like, all day. 20 minutes? It's about 20 minutes. 15 minutes, maybe? I just don't know if I want to keep shrinking him so I can get more of the blanket in to make it look more cozy. Because this is almost actually at his head in terms of the height of it. It's like right under his ear. This giant fold. It's kind of an excuse for me to paint fabric for a little bit. Okay, so, whoops, I'm gonna duplicate the sketch, hide this one, I'm gonna change this one to multiply, I'm gonna change the color of this a little bit more, not too bright. So, background color, I want to be fairly light. I'm actually gonna do everything, all the background colors and stuff first, so we can establish our lighting and all of that first. I'm gonna have to do a bit of effects afterwards and you guys can't see. So there is like a blue painting behind him. Most of these things I usually like to blur out just because I don't really like having the background stand out that much. This actually comes like this. add a shadow for the painting itself. So a little bit here. And then it's kind of like another painting. And it's this giant gray shape. It's kind of like this thin red line that outlines this part, but I'm gonna make this overlap a little bit. Kind of outlines the shape a little bit. I'm gonna make it a little bit thinner, a little bit more muted. I want to add a shadow, so I'm going to add a multiply tool or multiply layer to this. Kind of get a kind of a warmer shadow, but I'm going to lean it towards purple. Let's go to this and then blur this quite a bit. Blur this not as much. I'm going to merge that down. I'm gonna add a little bit of an addition layer, which might be bad for you guys because you guys probably won't see it as properly. Let's see if I can add more of a greenish blue light. So I don't want this to be too bright. I'm gonna add one more layer and add an overlay of kind of like a warmer color, like a orange. Go a bit darker. Just to warm it up just a little bit. Not the quite, like, it's not quite the same color palette, but hopefully this will be nice after I add in the other colors of for Jeonghan anyways. Okay, so So usually I don't like adding effects too much to what I'm coloring that isn't the background, unless I'm doing it at the very end. So I need to figure out, why isn't he bright enough? So I'm gonna color this in. It's gonna have to be fairly bright. I just noticed how light everything on the bottom is, because the light's supposed to be hitting him pretty hard. His fingers, I forgot to erase the lines. I didn't really explain why I was not uploading a video on Wednesday. Like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. This is because I was busy. I thought I wasn't gonna go out at all this week, but I went out twice to help my parents with a few things. Because usually I'm only out for like maybe a few hours at a time and usually come back like early evening, but this time I came back at like 9 p.m., 8 p.m. So I felt tired and exhausted, so I wasn't able to find time to properly record anything. And I haven't been like ahead of schedule in a while. Because sometimes I used to have backlogs of videos ready just in case for like times like this where I do have to miss a day of upload. I think it's okay since especially I think the last 2 weeks I posted bonus videos. So that's okay. I might be able to film another sketchbook doodles video as well. Just don't want it too saturated, so I might have to add a little bit of a grayish blue. I'll think about what eye color to give him. I'm leaning towards blue just because of the background and stuff. So his blanket's kind of like a peachy color, but like the shadows are a little bit more pinky compared to the rest, so we'll add this color first. Then as we're making it lighter, we'll lean it towards yellow. Everything looks gray. I usually like doing clothing folds with a reference, but I'm not following the reference too closely, so this might be a bit more of a challenge of where to place shadows. And like the crinkles and stuff. Oh, this is already straying away from the color palette I wanted to use. So this is what I get for not following the reference as closely as I should have if I wanted to use the colors a little bit more accurately. So it's a good thing about adding colors to light fabric. I love pulling colors from like the background and stuff to help tie in some of the colors a little bit more. Because things seem a little bit more natural when you see the color kind of throughout the piece. Unless you want it to be like a pop of color. Which I might do with his eyes, but his hair is red, so I might be able to get away with leaving his eyes more of a blue or purple. Or even like a yellowy brown might work. So maybe we'll do his hair first and then decide his eye color. So, let's make this side a lot darker. Don't know if I put the right color. It's hard to see for you guys for some reason. These colors look too similar in value for you guys, but the purple is more darker for me. So usually for me, when I'm coloring anything that is red, the shadows tend to be purples and blues for me. I feel like I run the risk a little bit when I'm doing it for hair colors, because sometimes it does need to be more of a like a darker intense wine red rather than this weird poppy red that I'm using. What color eyes do I do? Do I want it to be yellow? Yellow looks kind of cute though, but I don't know if I prefer if it was blue. I think blue's a little much. We'll stick with yellow, I guess. Like gold. His shirt's kind of like the same color as what I had for the base color of the skin. So I'm gonna make his hands a little bit darker. Just so there's a difference. His phone is white. Everything's like really light in color though. Sweater. It's kind of similar in shadow color. I'm gonna make it a little bit duller. Purple might have been a little much, but we'll live. I'm just gonna put the 17. I probably put the 17 logo here. Okay, so let's prepare for rendering. I just don't know if I should add effects. Maybe I should add effects. Like, I usually don't like doing this as much because it kind of takes away a little bit of the learning process for me. But sometimes you do need it. So I'm gonna add because sometimes it's good to establish it way beforehand. But sometimes it's better to just challenge yourself to do it. But we'll see, because this still helps me technically learn how to do this. It's just that I feel like I could have achieved it if I slowly layered up colors and stuff carefully. Merge down. So this is what we have. I'm just gonna exit out really quick. So, previous illustrations that I've done that has a little bit more intense lighting, sometimes I do use like the addition layer, like add or luminosity layer to those, and then it helps make the lighting. But when I did this one of Hoshi, you know how like I could have done multiply layer to do all the shadows and stuff so I can get like more accurate of a bluish gray tone for his skin tone. But as you can see, when I did the coloring, I did the background first, and then I just picked colors that looked appropriate and then started to keep like basically changing everything. Like I didn't add additional layers to it. I just kept painting until everything looks correct, and I just kept telling myself like when I put everything else in, it'll look correct, because like I know what I'm seeing. Because for my reference, like I saw that, you know, Hoshi had more of a muted, darker toned skin because of the blue lighting and stuff. And it made more sense, right? And then you could have done the rim lighting. In this case, I did the rim lighting carefully without doing like additional layers, which looks really nice. And then I think after the fact, I did add more white to the edges. So it looks like rim lighting. I was trying out like a bunch of different things for this one. But then there's other pieces where I do rely more on the different layer effects and everything, which isn't bad, but you know, sometimes it's good to learn without doing a crutch of relying on those to make effects look more appropriate. But I think it still works out. So let's work on this. So now that everything is merged, we can just start to render everything. So I'm gonna grab Sharp Render and we're just gonna start. I don't know how detailed this is gonna be. Like, I feel like this is just gonna be a simpler piece. I might go ham with the fabric depending on how confident I will be. Yeah, without a reference, I feel like I'm not as confident with these kinds of fabrics though. Usually I start with the mouth, just because I don't know why. I like to clean up the mouth first. Also, even though I had complaints about this case, I've been using it the entire time and I think it's fine. But I can't tell if I'm actually pressing down harder with my pencil now that I have this case on. And I'm just having the realization that I should take it off when I have to do ASMR videos because I do the weird pen tapping thing at the beginning. So I'm basically just covering up any miscellaneous lines that don't need to be here. But usually if I'd done a good job of laying down the base colors first, there's a lot less to clean up. As you can see, I didn't do that good of a job. Definitely more to clean up. I want to talk about streaming a little bit. If you've been to the last few streams, literally like the last two, because I feel like the first one didn't really count since it happened not really in like succession. It was kind of like 3 weeks ago compared to the other two, which happened like, I think the one was 2 days ago for you guys when this video is posted, and the other one's like, I think 5-6 days ago, a week maybe. But I mentioned during the stream that I feel like I'm gonna try my best to alternate what I'm doing on stream to the best of my ability, just to make sure that I'm not stuck doing one medium the entire time. But sometimes I will do some sessions in a row, like maybe if I'm finishing up an iPad session, maybe I'll do 2 in a row. Or if I'm finishing up a painting or a digital drawing on Paint-Tool-Sai or Clip, then I will do that. In the future, I'm gonna stop announcing when I go live, because I'm not really particular about having like a lot of viewers for live streams especially. So yeah, I feel like if you want to be notified, then just make sure to follow, get that email notification up and running. Should be okay. I probably will promote it only on Instagram because that is the main social media that I use. But I would like to keep the Twitch streams chill for the most part. But it is like the place to ask questions directly, just because it is easier for me to explain things verbally rather than through like, you know, text and all that. Because I'm not, like I said, I'm terrible at explaining, but I'm worse at explaining via like text. For the eyes, I usually like to add a different color just to make it look a little bit almost glassier. Especially if the eyes are fairly dark, adding that little pop of color there kind of helps. I guess I didn't really add any of the skin color back into the hair to make it look a little bit more softer. I should have erased a lot of these construction lines. Seriously makes cleaning up a little bit easier. I've been listening to more like upbeat, happier songs. So I've been listening to Drippin's Fate. I think it's called Fate. So I kind of listen to Drippin on and off. They're not like super up there for my favorite groups just because I haven't gotten into them, but I do like their songs. And they're a Woollim group, and I'm like a very much of a Woollim artist stan. But yeah, the next Genshin video I'll definitely talk more about what I'm excited for during the 1.5 update, because I'm super excited. There's so much going on every update, I feel like now. We got a little bit of a sneak preview of these beautifully painted little landscapes of areas of Inazuma. And I was telling my brother that I wanted Inazuma to have these beautiful like pink trees and stuff, and it seems like they do have kind of that aesthetic there. Gonna add a little bit more of the red back into the underside of this part of the hair to make the hair look a little less stiff. Let's add a few more strands. It looks very pink rather than red. So yeah, I think I do have to intensify the red here. I'll add a little bit to this area. I think we're almost done this side of the hair. Just have to clean up these little stragglers of lines and the highlights. I love the concept what the producers just did, where it's like they could take whatever they, like any of the members say and use that against them and do a whole episode based on it. Because they said some really wild things. When I was out and about a couple of those days, I was listening to 17 sing. I don't really remember what the name is called, but I believe it's a Chinese song. I don't know if it originated somewhere else, like, because I've heard a Japanese version before, and I believe there's like a Vietnamese version or something. But it's like the one that Vocal Team sang with June and The8. I think at the Hong Kong Music Bank? Maybe? I was listening to that again, because I really liked that song. It was a nice surprise hearing the same, like, melody and stuff in a different language. And sung by males, I guess? Because when I was listening to the other version a while back, like the first version I heard, it was sung by, I think, a group of females, like a friend group, I think. I'm still thinking what I want to do for the next sketchbooks, like doodle session. I did have, like, maybe you should, like, you guys should let me know. I feel like this is too late into the video to get a proper response from people, but I do have, like, a pencil crayon version of Masaki recorded. I just haven't recorded the audio for it, but he turned out a little derpy, so I don't know if I want to post that one. But maybe if I post another pencil crayon video with it, with the footage, then maybe I'll post that one. The hair behind his neck should be in shadow, especially because there's pretty much no sunlight hitting this part. I was hoping this would be a quick session, but I think this is easily probably 2.5 hours. I think we're at the 1.5 hour mark. I'm like low-key thinking of what I want to do for the next stream, because I would like to stream as much as possible. But I don't think I want to work on commissions on the stream, unless it's just coloring. Because I think what helps make fingers look like fingers is adding the values in the correct places, so you know which parts are bending and which parts are not. A little bit more about Genshin talk, because I still have Genshin on the brain. So my plan is I summon for Zhongli, get C1 Zhongli, get Yanfei, and then bolt. Just get out of there. I do want to do another watercoloring video. My brain is like all over the place. I want to do another watercoloring video. It requires a little bit more planning. Or, wait. I could show you guys this. So I bought a watercoloring sketchbook recently. The Paul Rubens one. But it is hot press. So, yeah, 300 GSM, 20 pages. And the thing I like about this is that it's kind of like a text block kind of thing right here. So you would have to cut out the part that's not glued and cut all the way around if you would like to release the page from its little glued state. But the sketchbook kind of text block kind of method kind of helps with if I want to do kind of like tests. I could probably do finished work on there, but to keep the page clean, I usually like to transfer my sketches onto watercolor paper. So I'm kind of trying doing these little shapes so I can imitate little areas where the fabric is kind of pulling and kind of look like they're being sewed together, like they're being like this kind of for like puffier material. I went through like a whole phase of learning to try to render this kind of fabric, almost like this puffy material, because I was drawing Koji's vest a lot. Clearly I didn't do enough studies because I'm still very much lost. Kind of want fabric to be pulling a little bit on this edge. This edge looks too like untouched. Yeah, but I recommend doing fabric studies if you can. I really want to do like leather or like kind of like a wool material. I don't have the patience to do like wool and stuff, so it would be nice to find a way to simplify all of that. I guess it should be dark in the center. Like that. Put a bit of like a highlight. His diamond's like lopsided. So we're gonna get rid of this. Compared to the other blue anyways. Quick bonbongi. A different styled bonbongi. I need the shadows for his fingers. Oh, you know what's weird? So I think I've been telling my brother that I wanted like a baking pan for like a while, like one of those shallow flat ones, because we haven't had one in a long time. But then I come down this morning and there's like a random like newish looking pan downstairs and I don't know where it came from. Unless like my parents noticed what we were using to bake. Kind of fill the rest with white and maybe add a little bit of a darker color so it looks less like a weird sticker above this background. So either add a darker color or a lighter color to kind of change up the line work a little bit so it looks less just like one color. So this part I'm actually looking at the reference a little bit because I do feel a little lost where to put everything. But my lighting is a little bit different, so I don't think I'm gonna get the same result. It's always like one side is good, the other side is like questionable. I hate this side. Maybe I shouldn't follow the reference and just add the seams in. I just feel like if I left it blank, it would not have, like, it doesn't, they look like different material almost. There. And this part looks like it's bending down a little bit. That. There, I think we're pretty much done. I'm just gonna clean up the sleeve. So that's kind of the bad thing about doing the background and the figure kind of separately. You do have this kind of harsh line sometimes that goes all the way around if you don't touch it up. But you can easily fix that and kind of add thinner strands to his hair. A little bit on here. There we go. Looks like he just kind of woke up. There we go. So let's do a quick overview. His hair. Glad I fixed that. Because imagine if his hair was this, like, lopsided. The background. Adding in the colors. I really like the color combination down here though. It looks very warm. Adding the intense lighting. Finishing up the rendering. My favorite part is literally doing this part. I really like how this looked. We fixed up his phone. Moved on to the side. Fixed his sleeve. Yeah, so how long did we spend on this? 2 hours and a half. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me work on this one, and I'll talk to you guys next time with another video. Bye!